I like to see the erectile dysfunction part for my clients. They've been waiting, so I need to tell them.
There we are. I started out there because I wanted to start just like some physical therapists. I know they did it in the martial arts. They always start with the feet and work up because you want to get that blood circulation from the bottom going up. And so, as I said earlier, and this is one of the protocols that you use. This is the IceWave or the energy enhancer patch. Remember that the tan is always on the left and the white is always on the right. And that's the positioning of that. The other thing that you are aware of, the feet, as you know, you want the blood circulation in there, especially for sexual arousal as a masseuse. The other area, which isn't shown on here, not only do you massage the whole foot, but get around the ankle area, on top of the ankle and on the side of the ankles. That's what you do as a masseuse to make sure the blood flow. Man needs blood flow at the lower extremities, but I'll talk about that first. And he needs it from the lower extremities all the way up to the groin or back area. So you have any additional questions on this one?
No, this is easy one.
This particular one, as a masseuse, acupuncturist, acupressure, you know that's the energy point. All masseurs, acupuncturists, and acupressure masseurs knows that those points on the leg are what they call the energy point. Whether you massage them or you put the patch on them. And on this particular one, for the bodybuilding strong protocol, that's one of the things I take from there. But also I do that because it's going to generate the energy for the sexual arousal and participation.
Philip, we don't have an energy enhancer in Korea.
Say again?
We don't have energy enhancer patch.
Word.
We have a X39, Aeon,
Okay.
IceWave, Glutathione, and Carnosine. We have a 5.
Okay. Now that you told me those, the next one I will use for this point, first of all, X39 will work everywhere. So if you run out, my number one choice for that point without the energy enhancer would be the Aeon.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay.
Because it gives you the circulation, and sometimes people may have some inflammation down there. But if you don't have the Aeon patch, use the X39. Another point I want to bring up when you don't have those patches, and this is something deeper that you will learn in the book as you go through that extra book on protocol that you bought, you can put the X39 there and then put the Aeons, what they call double stacking. But this is something I'll teach you later on. Double stacking, what it does, it was a little puzzling for me, but what it does, it intensifies the crystal activity in the area. So we'll talk about double stacking in the future, but I would particularly use the Aeon for the person. And if you run out of the Aeon, it's always good to know if you run out of what you consider your primary patch, what secondary patches can be used. You can always still treat the area, even if you don't have what you may consider the primary patch for that particular area. Any questions?
No question.
Now, you notice that under the thighs, the inner thighs, I'm trying to point to, it's showing that area, but what I want you to do is visualize or touch yourself right, not on your under thigh, but closer to your buttocks, that curve. It can be anywhere inside that where the buttocks is, because when you're sitting down for long periods of time, that area becomes what you may call numb, inflamed, or just have poor circulation. So person have to kind of tell you, or you have to, if you're doing it to yourself, you have to kind of touch yourself and get it perfectly right. And I shouldn't say perfectly right, just get closer to the spot where you know there's a dullness insensitivity or no circulation. And that's how you play and where you place the patches. I know when sometimes a masseuse will massage your buttocks. You start on the inner and then you go out, because you can go on the outer of the buttocks and there are tight places that you give someone a massage. You can feel the tightness in the buttocks area. So start underneath, closest to the buttocks or the anus, and place the patch as indicated there. You again use the IceWave. White on the right, tan on the left. And then for the men, I'll get to another picture and talk about it mostly. But under the men testicles, if you were to man lift his testicles up, there's a base under his testicle. That's where you want to put the other patch, which one I said? Yes, that's where you want to put one of the X39s under the base, behind the base of the testicles. And I'll show you another picture with a penis in there. But I'm just starting with this one because this is the first one I have. So we're going to go through this twice, okay?
Just a second. Under the testicle?
Yes, ma'am. It's like if you push the testicles up towards the stomach and it has a base where the testicles connect to the body. You put it right under the base of the testicle.
Okay. Is it only then one?
The X39, and then you let the testicle, you let the penis go down, and then you come to the front top of the base where the penis extends, and you put another X49 on top of that. So it's one at the base, under the testicle, and one on the top. I'll show you on the picture, a better picture. And then that one is 2 to 3 fingers where you say, under the navel, I put a glutathione. Right. You see my print? You see my cursor?
Just a second. Are you? Just a second. I'm writing. Just a second. 3 fingers from the navel.
Yes, ma'am.
Navel is the.
It's where you have the glutathione.
Okay. It's called dantian in Chinese TCM, I guess, that point, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that is glutathione. Okay.
And then you see one above the navel, 3 fingers above the navel, you do a glutathione or an Aeon.
Fingers above. Aeon or glutathione?
Or glutathione, yes, ma'am. Reason for the glutathione primarily is, as you get massages, sometimes you get an abdominal massage because some people may have a semi-mass or something in there, or they have what they call colon inflammation. And they want to move that stuff around. Any type of toxic you have in your body will decrease the circulation. But again, we use the patches because we want the body to detoxify and to heal. And that's how men specifically start developing prostate cancer, prostate issues. They have inflammation in the groin area going to the stomach. So when our stomachs are huge, it's not because we're fat primarily. It's because we have some challenges inside and that have not gotten to the bad point. So I do a lot of self-massage on that area. I do a lot of detoxifying on that area and expel all that toxin out, drink water correctly, try to eat correctly, and then that circulation comes back. So we as men don't want to walk around with a very gross abdominal. One, the appearance isn't well, and 2, physically, internally, it's not good for us. Okay.
Is it all? Now this is the another PDF? No, just a second.
Go. Yeah, go to the left. That's what we want to talk about. Remember I said I was going to give you a better picture? And I didn't do a good job. When you look at the penis, go to your right. That's where I should have had that patch place. And that's where I was trying to visualize when I said put it on the base of the penis, the X49. It's not the one in the front, it's the one in the back of the testicles. You see on the left, there's a circle behind that. That's where you want to put that X39. So that's a better, X49, that's a better picture where to put that patch.
We don't have an X49.
Okay. You told me Aeon, you told me X39, you told me Glutathione, and what was the fifth one?
IceWave and Carnosine.
IceWave. Now, so Aeon, put the Aeon back there. If you out of Aeon, put the X39. You put it behind that testicle, the second bullet, not the first one on the right, and then the first one on the top of the shaft. You see the shaft going from the head all the way up to the top of the shaft?
Mm-hmm.
That's where you put that before it gets to the hairy part. You put it on the top of the shaft, right on that. And that's the Aeon, since you don't have the X49 or the X39. Now, during the day, this can be worn during the day if the head wants to participate in a sexual encounter later on. He can wear that 12 hours a day, get ready to take a shower, go see a significant one, and he should be good to go. It's going to give him a great deal of confidence. Because when men take, what they call that thing, I don't take them, so I don't know. Whatever they call it for to get the erection, I forget the name of it because I don't take them. Well, when men take those drugs, Viagra. When men take those drugs, it takes a while for it to work. And if psychologically, which we're going to talk about as we go through these things, he still have a psychological issue because he knows he has an issue with ED. He may not, he have taken Viagra, he may not still have the confidence, and therefore the blood flow won't get there. Because it's both a psychological and physiological connection. Mm-hmm. And that's why I put the other patch in there. And we'll talk about it as we go through there. But those are patch locations for the groin penis area directly, and the patches to use. You know, if you touch a man behind the base of his testicle, just massage it or play with it, he gets aroused, right? So you just lift the testicles up and just touch it at the base behind the testicle, which is the second one, which is open, not the one in front that's colored, but the second one to the right that's open. You put it behind the testicle. That's the most sensitive and area you want to increase the circulation and sensitivity. Okay. That's what causes it to help stand up from the front. And he's going to get this stimulation from the patch on where it's on the top of the penis shaft. And then when you put it behind the testicles, not at both of the base. You can put them all three places. But at the base of the testicle, which is the second one to the right, and on top of the shaft at the base, that's where you want the penis to get the circulation and it'll stand up. And when you are trained the sensitivity and nerve, when he wears it several days to a week or more, it'll do it on its own because it has lost that sensitivity and neurological connection there. So you're awakening that by putting the patches there and getting the circulation to stuff. So it's the second one behind the testicle and the one on top of the shaft at the base. This is and again, you don't have the energy enhancer, so you will go to all Aeon patches here. Okay? And you'll notice that where it has that I think it's ST25, it's in line with the navel off to both sides, the left and right. Put an Aeon patch each there. The reason for that is, remember when you put one on top of the penis shaft and one behind the testicle? There are those lines when you put those Aeon patches on top of it in line with the navel. If you have an imaginary vertical line going down, you'll notice that going down, right down that crease where the other patches IceWave connects. We're talking about energy flow. Traditional Chinese medicine, when you have a problem, they're going to focus on, and that book will talk about it more, that most of Americans at least, not Asians, because you all do that little, what we call America called kimchi squat. Y'all keep that area well strengthened and circulating because you don't sit down and put pressure on your buttocks against some object. You're squatting. And when you squat like that, you're exercising and keeping that blood flow open in that area. Only America. So with traditional Chinese medicine, they understand that everything has to be what they call balance. And TCM talks about the imbalancing of the body. At a later date, I will show you where it talks about that in the book you have. But even when I was studying martial arts heavy, we did a lot of squats and you do a lot of stands because the thing you want to be the strongest point on your body for any purpose of life is you want from the stomach down, the core of your body down to be very strong and not only have the strength, but have the circulation. So those points where I have the energy enhancer check, where you would put the Aeon, you would replace it with the Aeon or the X39. They run all the way down to where we have the IceWave connected on the inner thigh and the buttocks relief. And that's what increases that blood flow. That makes sense?
Yes.
So that would be 3 patches in that area. It can be 3 Aeons, or it could be 2 Aeons and an X39. Even when you went above the navel, and I said above the navel, Aeon, to the right, you can put an X. I recommend so you manage your patches, which is another thing you have to do. You have to manage your patches supply. So you have to keep everything that you need. So I would recommend an X39 there and the Aeons at the ST, 2 5 points left and right. If you take it from the penis shaft up, it'll be 2 fingers up from that area.
Ah, okay. 2 fingers up from the base of the penis.
Now, keep in mind, although the woman's body is different, the points are pretty much the same. We have an external thing to deal with. You all have an internal. But if there's dryness going on with the woman's vagina, or she's not easily aroused, it still have to do with a detoxification and blood circulation issue. So those things will work for her as well. She just won't be behind the testicles, or it won't be on top of a shaft. But it will be closest to the vagina as possible, or the vulva opening.
I see. So that bottom one is glutathione 2 or X39 or which one?
It's glutathione, Carnosine. This one is very, very important. Part of dealing with the sex and what Viagra does to the body with man, sometimes it can overexert the heart. Now, I know the heart had to be involved. And instead of putting it right on the heart area, they put it in the center. And this is a critical point I recommend you use every day. Because there are 5 different parts or 5 organs, 5 top organs you want to protect on your body. That's your liver, your lungs, your heart, your spleen, and your kidney. You want to protect that every day. In Western medicine, when we go to the doctor, they check our heart to determine what type of heartbeat we have. And they determine how much cholesterol and plaque we have in our body by drawing blood. And they have us leak in a cup so they can see the color of our urine to make a discernment, do we have some kidney issues based on the color of the urine? Okay, these patches, that point, I couldn't find the one lower. So I was trying to draw the fingers down. Don't take it up that high, bring it lower. And the reason for lower, based on my protocol and physical experience. Remember we had it on the front of the belly? You want to get the blood circulation in that trunk, like I said, from that abdominal all the way down. So you want to do the same thing on the back, but do it with the IceWave. And then put the Aeon in the center. Why? Because when you're having sex, whether you're on the bottom or top, you want to make sure there's a lot of blood flow there. That's what causes the scrotum to get engulfed with blood. From that point all the way down to the feet. That's why we started with the feet. And it's going to get a lot of blood stimulation in there and a lot of relaxation and provide the flexibility. for the sexual intercourse movement.
So it's a lot of patches. Do they
Huh?
have to keep doing this to make the body like detox and blood flow really, really well until they heal
I'm just going to ask
easy?
that question. I personally say, for me, yes.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to do it every day. They can alternate it every other day.
Uh-huh.
Because for some people, as you asked me before, how much money did I spend? So that's where the money increased. I don't care because I'm 68 years old and I want to stay mobile. That's my first thing. And I don't want any prostate issues. That's my second thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I treat it like I treat drinking water or having one meal a day. I primarily have one meal a day.
Yeah, me too.
Intermittently fast for 16 hours
Mm-hmm.
and constantly drink. Why do I do all those things? Because I know ultimately for health, we overeat. When we overeat, we overwork our digestive tract. When we overwork our digestive tract, we age because our bodies are working harder.
Mm-hmm.
So I treat these patches because, darn it, I didn't send it. It should be in the explanation somewhere. They said after 30 years old, our body lose cells.
Mm-hmm.
It lose the healthy cells, and the
Uh-huh.
cancer cells come in.
Uh-huh.
And the cancer cells start populating more faster than the normal cells that we are losing can fight them off
Mm-hmm.
through the lymphatic system. And that's how we get cancer. So I say all those things, you don't have to, but for me at my age, and I've already lost 40 years. They say every year after 30, you lose the cells. I'm trying to rebuild my cells to put their youthfulness back in there. The C7, you want to do that every day. Now, you notice you have on your throat that.
Mm-hmm. I
That-
have a
that's
glutathione
impactful.
now.
Yes, a glutathione, which is good because thyroid issue. I don't know whether you have a thyroid issue.
I
but
have a
that could be-
Hashimoto.
Huh?
I have a Hashimoto that is autoimmune under like a hypothyroid issue.
Yes, it's called hypothyroidism. Yes. So that's a good point. But if you're out at a function and you're wearing a low-cut blouse, you probably don't want that. You just put it on the back. But it does, where you have it, it's nothing wrong. It's a good point. And not only that, it's going to get the blood flow along in here, in the neck area. And I'm pretty sure it's going to do something changing positively in the dental area too. And it's definitely doing it from the skin. Last but not least, it's going to tighten up that neck. I lost weight and I could see where the weight was. It looked like a little turkey under here. But now it has smoothed out
Cool.
without getting facial and neck massage. It did it with the patches because what they call that thing,
Lymphatic system?
no, it's another thing to have. It's not coming to mind right now. It'll come to me later on. But you definitely want to put this on the back. Again, what does that do? That's running that neuron system from the patches we put on the back at the lower area that you just saw, connecting with the patches that's underneath the thighs, close to the buttocks area, creating that energy flow or the electrical flow that's going through the body. Because when a person's spine, whether it's neck or the middle of the back or the hips, are damaged, like I was jumping on an airplane and it was trembling for a while, that threw that electric current off, and that can mess with your erection process because you're not getting that continuous flow. It's like you have your computer on your desk and you lift your desk up because you wanted to shift it, and you accidentally did not pay attention, dropped it on the optic table. So when you're typing on your computer, the letter do this. And that's the same thing that software would do when you don't have a continuous flow or something wrong with your software, your internet. The letters come in intermittently. They slow and they kind of bounce in. That's the same thing happening in the body when you don't have that continuous flow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you want it at the base. Okay?
Okay.
Another patch area.
So this is PDF1, I guess. Everything on the PDF1, I think.
I think that's everything. Yes, I'm sure that's everything on part 1.
And then I'll do the
part 2.
part 2.
I'm positive. Yes, because it'll show the face and everything. There you are. That's why I was done. Mm-hmm. Now, always do this at night because of the brain fog. I had mine on last night. And it works what you said, like center eye. Mm-hmm. It gives you that brain activity of deep sleep. Mm-hmm. You probably dream very well when you did that.
Yeah. Somehow I think I dream more vividly kind of feeling. Or remembering well kind of feeling. Dream.
Yes. Yeah. That's where you want to build that. That's why you need that deep REM sleep. For some reason, I was just born with the gift to have a photographic memory. Mm. But to keep that, and one of the things they want to talk about is Alzheimer's disease. So anyone who's beginning to have mental decline, definitely use that.
But the erectile dysfunction thing, still, do they need this?
I said yes, but keep in mind, that's when they're going to do it at night. Why? Because, and that's a good question you asked, because I said I will get to it later. Because you want to do the mental clarity. Remember, we're talking about Viagra when a man takes Viagra. And yes, it increases the blood flow. But as soon as he gets to the sexual activity, because he's mentally and emotionally, something's going on. Bad relationship, haven't had sex in a while, and he's under stress, really want to be with this woman. And all of a sudden, because he's not emotionally and mentally prepared, then it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And this is why I recommend that. Mm-hmm. But that's done only at night. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm going to see young tomorrow. I'm going to wear all my patches, and when I go to sleep tonight, I'm going to put this on. It's all about confidence. Mm-hmm. And this is a weird thing, and I can talk about this. When the man really understands the use of the patches and what they do for him, he doesn't have any fear. Okay, when the patch is not on him, the woman will walk up to him. He has no fear because I said to you earlier, before you got the patches, he's going to start walking around with a semi-boner all day. It's not going to be extremely hard, but it's not going to be limp either, okay? And because he knows that confidence is there.
Philip, did you get the semi-erection kind of style after 2 weeks of using the patches?
Oh, yes. And like you asked me before, I'm waking up in the morning. And this morning I woke up, that monster was ready to go.
But
I just went.
Philip, before using the patch, it wasn't like that?
Oh, before the patch, very honestly and transparent, it wasn't like that. But more importantly, I noticed that when I went to the bathroom, my urine was being interrupted. Uh-huh. That's what I do. And I take my clothes off and I'm looking in the mirror. I see some perforation down there or inflammation or slight swelling. Then the lower abdominal began to protrude. Despite the fact how much abdominal exercises I would do, it was still protruding. Mm. Then I was having issues with expelling, taking a bowel movement. Mm. So all that area was inflamed. And so it was messing up the liver. That's why I talk about and study and understand fully. I won't say fully, but understand much more that all that down there going wrong, it's a cascading effect. Mm-hmm. The urine, I wasn't having prostate where I couldn't pass my water, but my stream of water was slower. Mm-hmm. When I go to the bathroom now, it goes whoosh. If I'm sleeping all night, right?
Yeah.
It goes whoosh. So when I'm sleeping, I'm good. The moment I put my feet on the floor and start walking to the bathroom, you better speed up because it's been held in there all night psychologically. And then I look at the water. I notice the color is good, but before, especially it got to the expelling part, it was terrible. That means
it's 9 o'clock.
The stress in the military for long periods of time, and then other things that I was going on in life. Look it up. Stress put a lot on your liver. And when soldiers are dealing with PTSD, they talking about the PTSD psychologically, but they're not dealing with what is damaging the organs, the liver, the spleen, and the kidney, and the heart. Okay? Now, I left out the lungs, but I definitely know it attacks the liver. Please do some research on it and give me a different perspective from your perspective, because you have a good perspective, and I learned from you. But that liver, and so I never drink, as you know. But you can still get cirrhosis of the liver from stress. From stress. And when Western doctors, they don't deal with the liver when you go to a checkup. They don't deal with the spleen when you go to the checkup. They check your heart, they check your lungs, and they check your urine from your kidney. And by the time you hear somebody, and it's just checking the urine, so they really don't check the kidney. That's why you have in America a lot of heart problems, liver problems, and kidney problems, going to the dialysis machine and what have you. So it's just bad. But your Eastern medicine, as you talked about one of the things they did to you and shared the pictures with me, they do a much thorough checkup. Because you sitting there in the medical garment that they gave you when you go to the checkup and preparing you, and they're talking you through the process, and then they do the physical. Oh, they don't do us like that. We take off the top, they put their little scope there and check the breathing, check the heart, and then they say, okay, get up, put your top back on, pee in the cup. Oh, if you black and you're over 40, bend over, let me poke you in the rear end. Okay, let's talk about that. Men getting a prostate exam. I learned this from Dr. Godwin. He's a Caucasian guy who was my acupuncturist. We had a good report, as I shared with you the other day. He's in Montana now. Who asked me about COVID-19 shot. He was sharing with me one day, he was treating me with acupuncture. He said, you feel that you recognize that Americans are the only one who believe in poking the finger out the rear end. What does that do for you? So that started by experimentation and learning about that. They never tell us why they're doing it. And Mo, my business partner, he said to me, who's a trained doctor, I was talking with him about the abdominal and about the prostate, right? I said, Mo, they check our stomach, they feel our stomach, but they don't tell us anything. What are they looking for? He said, if he feels a mass, they won't tell you because it's not imminent. And they don't have anything to give you for it, so they let it go to the worst point of your life, where they said, oh, you got colon cancer, or you got prostate cancer. So when they're putting the finger up your rear end, they're feeling to see if there's any inflammation in there and how tight it is. And then they take the blood test to see what the chemical compound in the blood to see how bad it is. And then you get to the point where you can't pee, you can't get an erection, you can't have sex. And then you get a lump. And that lump mass starts in the abdominal. The term they use is metastasize on down further in the groin, gets in the penis and underneath those little crevices underneath the thighs and near the buttocks where I share with you to put the patches. That's why I do that, to detoxify and keep blood flow. Okay, Asians do this. American calls it tapping, okay? You very seldom see any Westerners do this. But that's good to get the blood flow all through the body, even along the wrists. That's for the heart. You sitting there typing all day, you need to do that. No one teach Americans that. That's why my paradigm, and my mother said from the time I was a little boy, she said, you always study the Asian culture. Because they ate more natural food, plant-based, before they became Americanized. Because it was basically a poor country, but being poor, and they revolutionized themselves now, they're eating more meat. And nothing wrong with that if that's what they want to do, but they have to do it on a very disciplined level. even when I see your diet to this day, because of the environment you grew up in, the way you eat, and the things you study, you don't go abundantly in meat. You do it with some doggone discipline, but you get a lot of protein of vegetables and fiber. Your fiber and protein is heavier, so you do a better ratio than plant-based food for your protein and fiber, but you don't go excessively in meat. And I observed this the whole time, and I changed my diet on that. And I'm changing it even more. I'm eating less chicken now because they don't raise the chicken properly. They put the hormones in the chicken. And I can feel the hormone after you have fasted and try to clean your body out. When you put something in your body that's not right, what's in the food, you feel it. As opposed to indulging all the time at all the eat buffet, you feel it. So the body is it's like the trees, it's like the plant, it's very smart. The trees know when to drop the leaves in the fall and winter and rejuvenate the leaves in the spring and summer. Our bodies are the same way. But what has happened, we changed the process, and then it becomes detoxified. Should I say it's become toxic? Okay, I think that's it, young lady.
So
We went from the bottom to the top.
final question, not the final, but so before using the patch, you didn't have a strong erection in the morning, but after 2 weeks, you have a getting up with a hard erection. Is it the change you had besides the urine and all that?
Oh, good question. Here's the answer. Those things change. I didn't use the patches to get an erection. I used the patches to stop the inflammation in the groin area. Erection was a result of it.
Yeah.
And continued use of it, I have to maintain that because, again, the aging process takes place. And I was beyond 30, and I was constantly losing cells. I said that was a good question because when the continued use of the patches will continue to do just like pain does in the body. If you have pain in the body and you take a medicine or you put a patch on it or you get a massage or you get acupuncture, the person says, I feel good. And they'll come back and say to you, I felt good when I left you, Gian, last time. And the pain is no longer in this area of the body. It's now over here. What do I mean by that? Pain is transit. It moves out to the body. When you work one area, get blood flow, get healing going in one area, it goes to another area that's damaged that you didn't know about. The patch works the same way. So yes, I felt some discomfort, tightness, inflammation in the groin and abdominal area. And my lower back hurt because I was injured in the parachute. But this was hurting more, which caused the tremble. That's why you and I met and you said use the oil. So I put the patch here. I slept better. When I slept better, I started healing and it started growing the cartilage back in the neck. The cartilage. Cell caused the cartilage to grow back. So therefore, as the cartilage grew back, the shaking diminished.
Cool.
And then the next thing I noticed was the gum line, because I was grinding in my teeth. And I said, well, I'm going to the dentist thinking I got a lot of toxin in my gum line. True and false. You do that because I was in constant pain and I ignored it on a conscious level, but my subconscious still knew there was pain in my body. So I'm biting down and I'm grinding and I'm loosening my teeth and my teeth grind one of them out. So that's the next thing in attack. So as I started learning more about what the patches would do is you put it on in an area and it moves through the body and find the next weakest point. You talk about the thyroid issue. You talk about the rash or the breakout on the face. I see it already. I'm scared because you're an attractive woman anyway. I am scared. I'm scared.
So funny.
I'm scared for the fellows because they're gonna be begging you, oh, Gian, please. You laugh. But when it happens, you're gonna laugh again because you're gonna think about what I say. I have men to tell me, my frat brother on Facebook, when I pledged with and grew up with, I said, hey man, you look sharp, hummer, happy birthday to you. We both born and we're both Capricorn, right? And I'm complimenting him. He said, but you tell me what you doing. I said, man, you haven't changed since we was at college. He said, what the devil are you doing? And Mo said the same thing, the one who's a doctor. He said, bro, you keep doing what you're doing. We're going to have to come over there and put diapers on you. You get younger every day. I said, bro. And then wife says the same thing. Mr. Newby, he's 57, she's 40-something. Okay? He said, I don't know what the devil you doing. So for his birthday, I kept telling him about the patches, and he wasn't interested. So for his birthday, I just gave him X39, nothing else. And my other buddy, he and I was lieutenants together, he called me little brother because he's older than I. He went to Vietnam. I missed Vietnam. And he's with his young lady. He got divorced, the woman I know. But his lady that he's been with for the last 30 years, she's Caucasian. And he drank a lot. He's older than she. He's in his 70s. I sent them the X39 and X49. They haven't called me back yet. They haven't called me back yet. And she was getting very frustrated. And he came out and said, bro, I love my lady, but I ain't making it happen. I said, don't worry about it. I got something for you. He said, oh, are you serious? I said, I got something for you. He hasn't called me back yet. I had to call him the other day. He said, I'll get back with you.
What
and
does
he said he got.
What does it mean? What do you mean? Like he didn't call you?
He's busy.
If he isn't busy, then he would call you?
Yeah, because he's complaining, all right? And she would be complaining.
I see. Okay, cool.
He's in his 70s, and she just turned 50 the other day. Up to 19. Yeah.
So X39 and X49 works?
Yes, that's called the bundle.
Mm-hmm.
And the bundle, and it's further down in your email. Read your email. I gave you an email.
Yeah, I read the whole thing.
And you hit each of the links?
Yeah.
Yeah. I laid that out. I didn't get that from anybody. I took time and studied that and put it together for people who I wanted to make them aware of.
I see.
I went through every little piece that I put that together.
I see. Yeah, I've been researching and studying a lot. It's so fun. It's so amazing to study.
Yes, and you can see I did a lot of that and combined it for you.
Yeah.
And that's why when you ask me a question, I'm able to speak about it. The other thing I thought about you was I put the animal link in there because you're an animal lover.
Yeah, it was so amazing. The horse. I watched the horse video.
Yes.
And dogs.
Did I put the dog video in there too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I wanted people who are animal lovers. They're so connected to their pets.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And I know how important pets are to them.
Yeah.
And pets are like human. They just don't have the intellectual, verbal. But all the other things are just like human.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And in fact, they're smarter than humans because they don't let the intellect interfere with the intuition portion.
Right.
That's why if you had a dog and I come in the room, he goes, oh, don't trust him. Oh, don't trust him. She feels the vibration of some uncomfortability this person is for you. Well, we feel it too, but we intellectualize, maybe I just feel attracted to him or her. No, that uneasiness is something else. They got bad vibes, and we turn it off with our intellectual input. You have no idea. 5 to 10 years from now, you're going to say, Philip was right. He was right. I don't know how he knew this.
I can tell right away. It's not 15 years from now. I can tell right away. This is amazing stuff. It's the
Yeah.
best stuff ever for health, right? This is
Yeah.
amazing.
And I feel the same way, and I'm just a total different person.
Yeah. I feel so blessed to find out about this. Thank you so much.
But here's how blessings go, in my view, and I'm pretty sure you would agree. We're sitting in Arizona in the embassy suite in the living room there. You on the sofa, I'm at the desk. And you telling me about doTERRA. And it was working. And it helped me during COVID-19. And COVID was 3 years away. That was 2016. I didn't get hit with COVID until 19, 3 years away. You're talking about a bless. You blessed me with doTERRA. And before you blessed me with that, I was into essential oils. It just wasn't oils that I trusted. So what is my point? You heard a similar saying or the exact saying. When the student is ready, their teacher will arrive.
Yeah.
See, we have a thought process, and our minds and power goes out to the universe and bring the resource to us. But you have to be open and receptive. And I was so receptive. I got the picture in my head where you were sitting, where I was sitting, and you're just talking. And you're talking, and you talk for a while. And all of a sudden you stop and like, well, Philip, do you understand? And then I repeated something back to you. You go, huh? And then about a month or two later, we talked again. And I had the book. And you like, you read the book? Huh? Because that's what I was seeking. The other piece is that what you're seeking is seeking you. And you were seeking to go beyond the physical, personal, interactive of doing the massage. Excited about it when you were real young. But you know that time is moving on. You don't look aging, but you unconsciously thinking, is this something I want to do for another 30 years? I don't know what your thought process, but obviously that was the thought process because you start thinking in your own way of teaching, which is a good thing, and giving that information to other people to learn. And the universe, whatever those thoughts were, why you was moving to this area of being a teacher and moving slowly away from being a person actually doing the massage therapy.
Right.
Your mind had something else going on, and I brought something to your life. And that's called the law of reciprocity.
Isn't it law of attraction?
The law of reciprocity.
Okay.
Yeah, that means you gave me something, and I'm supposed to give you something of value back. If you don't give, you don't get back. Don't be stingy and not give. Don't look for something. My mother taught me that. She said, son, when you do something and you give someone something, you do it from your heart and don't look for anything in return. Well, that was one of the most powerful lessons she taught me. So, yeah, you may feel a little bad about it, but you did what you thought you were supposed to do. And don't worry about it because the universe will bring it back to you. Maybe not from that person, but it will bring it back. And you can Google that, the law of reciprocity. And it works just like karma. What you do will come back to you. And the law of reciprocity is the same. So I was seeking good essential oil without asking you. You got this whole suitcase of doTERRA essential oil. And I've been with you 8 years and doing doTERRA. Okay, I'm still buying doTERRA 8 years later. It wasn't a fad. It was a desire that I wanted. And studying that, being involved with that, gave me a paradigm shift that I don't have to subject myself to pills, potion, and solution that's going to overwork my digestive tract and walking around being afraid. You have to relax and be comfortable with whatever deity or divine person belief you have. If it was able to create us in a womb without the doctors doing their thing, it still exists in the universe to keep us healthy. In our mother's womb, we develop eyes and all these limbs and nose and all this internal organs and stuff. And no doctors. Why can't we maintain the health of it in the same way if it was able to develop it that way? And we just been brainwashed not to believe. Oh, protect yourself. No, our immune system does that. That's why we pee. That's why we defecate, to expel stuff out of our bodies. And that's why our lymphatic system works the way it does if we don't clog it up. And you know all those things I'm talking about because that's what you're doing when you massage it. The only difference in some of us, you got to understand, if I'm getting a massage, I'm deep breathing. When I'm getting the massage, every time the masseuse does something, I'm inhaling and exhaling. And I don't let men massage me. So anytime a woman massage me, I'm inhaling and exhaling. And I may fall asleep, but my focus is on. And you get to an area, I may get excited, but I'm still focusing on my breathing. Not the excitement. I'm focusing on my breathing. So it's really a workout with two people engaged, me on the breathing side, the masseuse on the manipulation, the masseuse side. And that's why you always put music on, so you have this rhythmic flow and setting the vibrational healing environment. So it's the breathing, it's the music, and it's your rhythmic manipulation and massage of the body that causes the heal.
Philip, I have one question. Other massage therapists, they don't do rhythmic style or what? Is it different or same?
I'm glad you brought that up. I have let Europeans massage me, Koreans, Chinese, Japanese, and they all do it differently. The other thing is, a person who's really there for a massage, can discern whether masseuse is into her skill craft. It's not only the skill, but it's the comfortability she has as well as the focus she brings to massage. So when you ask me that, the only way I can discern the difference is she a professional by the way she does things, and she has to become in tune with you, each person individually. She has to become in tune with it. That's why the initial phase, you're not really starting to massage, you're making the connection physically, trying to get to understand when she's really good at her skill, trying to get the skill. Does he feel comfortable with me touching? Does he have something else in mind? Is he getting relaxed? And you discerning this all between the initial touch within the first 5 minutes of it. And then you get into it. That's how you find your rhythm. That's the difference between a professional massage therapist and one who, the man or the woman who has some different motives going on. The other one can still come into play. So it's just like walking in a room and getting a connection with you. You didn't intend for that connection to take place, but it took place. And you just let the energy flow. But it all starts out with the connection and then the flow and what happens after that. So that's the difference. And I've been around. I'm here for the massage. So when you ask me that question, that's my answer to it. And I can tell the moment she touches me, the moment she approaches me, it's all about the approach. And one thing about women, a very experienced woman knows how to handle. Women are master at men. I'll give you an example. I was at the store the other day, broad daylight, and I made a $30 contribution to violence in the school. 2 black women were standing out there. The older black woman walked up to me and she started saying, hey, can I do this? I'm doing this. I'm blah, 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 I'm doing this. And I looked her right in her eyes. I said, you know how to handle men, don't you? She bust out laughing like, what? So why you say that? I said, you're very experienced with men. I can tell you know how to handle men. You're confident. You're talking to me. You know what you want. You look at me right in my eyes. And come find out, she said, well, I'm a little older. I said, I'm older than you. I bet you I am. She was 65. And she said, oh, no way. And she said, that's how you picked up on that. It's a skill set that I learned a long time ago. If I pass a woman on the street and I look in her eyes and she does this, she's not ready for prime time. Don't even deal with her. She's not ready for prime time. When I look a woman in her eyes and she looked me right back in my eyes, I said, okay, this is a woman here. This is not a little girl. Because women look young, okay? And those who want to be young, who are really young, want to be older. And they want to lie and about their age and whatever they want to get into. I'm like, you're young. I don't tell them that. I think that. So I listen to them and I thank you, we're not interested. It's the eye contact. It started with my mom. She said, always look, especially a woman, always look in her eyes. She'll never trust you. And as I went through that process, I started learning not only she doesn't trust me, she's not confident if she doesn't look me back in the eye. And this woman gave me, eyeball, despite the fact she was shorter than I. She looking up at me and we had great eye contact. And I said, you've been handling men a long time. She just laughed, what do you mean? You know how to master a man. And she went off after she got comfortable with me. Well, I like a guy like you. You can take my number. You can go out for dinner anytime you want. No sexual thing. I ain't interested. But I didn't say that to her. You know, because I'm not. I'm just really not. I don't want the headaches anymore. I don't want the headaches. I love my life. I don't.
My clients said that you're not having sex so you can give more detailed feedback.
Again?
My clients said that you don't have any woman, so you can experiment and then feedback, you know? For example...
That has some truth to it.
Yeah.
But the first thing I would say in rebuttal to that is, he's true, but I have the confidence. And so you can study the martial arts and never get in a fight.
Yeah, I know.
But when the fight break out, you're confident that you can handle yourself, right? I use that metaphorically. You know, when a guy pulled a gun on me, I hadn't been in a fight. I never used it. Well, once he pulled a gun on my first sergeant said, damn. He's like, woo. So I'm confident. And that's a greater feeling to meet a woman. For me, I've been on both sides. To meet a woman like, man, I wonder if I'm going to be ready. Why am I doing that? Because that's a good point. I put another spin on that. Women like men because they're able to do something. And they probably talk about men who doesn't do it as well. But what the woman has to understand is the man who does it well, he has a lot of practice. And is he going, what kind of relationship you want for him? Is that you just want to have that encounter? You need to go in there when he's good because you need to understand he has had a lot of practice. Okay? The other side of the coin, this is just me. And I got it from the movie The American Gigolo with Richard Gere. I love that movie.
I haven't watched it, but I want to watch it.
Watch that movie, and next time we talk, give me your feedback on it. Why do I like that movie? And I watched that movie when I was like in my late teens, early 20s, okay?
Uh-huh.
I like that movie because he was trained by a woman. Mm. Not only sexually, but how to treat a woman.
I see.
Gigolo he was an escort. Uh-huh. And the escort was, he didn't always provide them with sex. He provides them with a level. He goes in, the woman that sets him up tell him what this woman wants. And you understand escort duties. They tell her what the woman wants. She just want to go to dinner. She want to go to the museum. She's this age. She lost her husband. If it transitioned into something physical, all good. But he goes in there with a mission to be able to behave and focus on her needs. Okay? That's what he was trained to do. Identify, I'm going to tell you her needs. And then when you get there, you verify her needs and you stay focused on her needs. Not your needs, her needs. And there was one portion of that clip where this guy wanted him to have sex with his wife or something. And he didn't want to do it because that was for the guy's need. The woman wasn't involved with that. He wanted to sit there and watch this guy have sex with his wife because he wasn't capable of doing it. And he's like, man, I'm not up to that. And she's not into that. And then they was paying him so much money. He got mad about it. He said, I'll do this once, but don't call me back no more. Don't call me back. And from that clip, he had to stay physically in shape. His appearance had to be right. He studied foreign languages. And he knew how to dress. And I'm telling you, G Young, I love that movie and I duplicated. It was not about my needs. She shows an interest because the woman that he really fell for and that saved him at the end, he did not want to be with her. But once they got together, it was so, and he tried to fight it. He tried to fight it because he's a gigolo. He don't need this. But she needed him, and it was not a physical thing. She just showed up at his place. So you can call me to look that movie up again, but I watched that movie at least 20 times.
Wow. I need to recommend that movie to my client.
But your client has a point. How would he know? Well, I'm 60-something years old, almost 70, okay? I've gone through vicissitude where I've been young, paratrooper, just wild. And then I'm getting to a point where things are dying off. I don't feel the best. I'm not as confident. I'm concerned about things, and I start working them. So I had it. I started losing it. I got it back. And with that, yes, my mental and emotional paradigm should be different. Just because I'm vibrant physically doesn't mean I need to chase everything, okay? I just need to be around the very best. And that may just be one, maximum of two. I don't need 22 and 222. And you do the best with that 1 and 2. That's where I am.
So do you wish to find that 1 or 2?
Oh, because my emotional state is, as I shared with you several times before, is I bring baggage to you, and the other person brings baggage to me. And we have to deal with the baggage. And that's where the maturity comes in. Whatever pain, trauma, and things I suffer, I don't need to bring it into her life. Because what? I want I learned from Richard Gere and American Gigolo. You want to bring that woman the very best. And they appreciate that. They can feel it. Just like the person can feel the vibration of your touch before you start the massage. They can feel it. You have 1 or 2 interactions talking, you're feeling each other out. That woman approached me the other day. Just the mere fact, the way she approached me, she should never have come off that strong. We can go out to dinner. Luke said I was interested in taking you to dinner. But I'm not mad at her about it. That's just what she is in her life. In the same manner, I come after you. Yeah, I can take you to dinner. And I think because I take you to dinner, I can take you to bed. Think about that when men approach you that way. And you're like, who said I was interested in going to bed with you? It's the same concept.
Yeah.
And I know you experienced that 1 or 2 times. You have no feeling. Well, who's that? I don't mind talking to you, Philip, but who said I want to go to bed with you? So that's that level of maturity. And you don't get that a lot from men. Women do that because they're women. And they have to have a certain decorum and approach about themselves. That's part of being a woman. Man, he can he thinks. Men, we think. But when a woman gets involved around a man like that, they go, what is he really about? They go from all the way, is he gay? Is he sick? They go through a lot of things when a man doesn't go through a normal man type thing. So your client is right to some degree. He wouldn't know.
No,
But it'd be
he
interesting.
understands.
It'd be interesting what
He understands you have a great energy now, but he just wish that you had a woman so he can experiment and then keep the.
And even if I had a woman, I wouldn't disclose all that to him. Because a real man doesn't talk about his sexual escapades.
I see.
Even if I had it, I wouldn't tell that to him.
For example, like we had the Sterling Cooper have two supplements. One is for erection. Second one is for come and then getting erection back fast. Refractory. Shorten up the refractory time. So he was wondering, that kind of thing, like if you use this and what happened and how many times, that kind of thing.
He has a different, I'm not speaking negatively of him. He has a total different paradigm than I do. Let me explain why. Remember I said I can just walk around with a semi-boner.
Still,
and I have a woman around me.
Do you still do that like all the time nowadays after using the patches?
Man, I get out of the tub like, damn. That's all I say was, damn. So if it's the right person, you don't need a drug. You just need to be healthy.
I see.
Whether it's a man or a woman, you didn't need a drug at 25 and 30. You were healthy. Your mind was healthy. Your body was healthy. So the patches make me feel healthy. And I don't need to know how I'm going to perform, how many times can I perform. If I'm healthy and that woman right, I laugh to myself sometimes. We're going to have a wild night. And that's why you want to be physically, mentally, emotionally in state. And you got to do the physical workout. You got to do the nutritional things. All that's going to come to play.
Right.
You shared one of your escapades with me one time. It was a black guy. And you were like, I didn't want to do this, but God dang, you didn't go into detail, but you're like, he gave me a workout, okay? He gave me a workout. And that's the kind of thought process you want to leave a woman. And you do that and allow her to make the decision, can this be a continuous thing? I'll leave this note because it's a philosophy from the first black ambassador of the United States. I was a little boy, about 9 and 10 years old when I heard that. And I apply it to everything in my life. It is better to be prepared for an opportunity and not get it than to get an opportunity and not be prepared. So I don't disregard what he says. My life exposure has brought me to this point. And I have said that in every preparation portion of my life. I prepare for things. When that guy put that gun in my face, I didn't know that was going to happen when I studied martial arts years ago. But when it happened, I just responded. So if a woman shows up and she shows the interest, we have the chemistry. Oh, it's all like Pop-Town now, girl. That's all. I want to be able to. That's why I like American Gigolo. I don't want to just have sex. I want to be able to hit the right spots. I want to be able to stay in tune. I want to feel her movements. I want to adjust to her movement. Not for me. I'm going to get mine. I know that. And you probably heard older men say that. I tell you what, I disclosed this to you, and I'm not recording it. Recording is on pause.
I'm recording.
And I wouldn't tell another woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't even talk about the woman I'm with, how well I thought I did. I let her tell me. But with a woman, you never know. You think you did a good job, but you may not have done a good job. Just because he gave you certain reaction, it's a Richard Pryor joke. He did a role play where he talked about an encounter he had with a woman. He asked the woman, how was it? She went. He said, well, what would do? I said, how was that, baby? She went, so. So it's all those life lessons. So he's absolutely right. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I go back to my lifelong mantra is I would rather be prepared for an opportunity and not get it than to get an opportunity and not be prepared. I get an opportunity and I'll keep myself physically in shape, mentally in shape, emotionally in shape.
Mm-hmm.
The most gorgeous and interested woman in me and woman interested in me will come show up and I can't perform. I mean, what up?
Mm-hmm. Philip.
Doesn't matter what.
Philip, can I ask one last
Sure.
question? Okay. So we have a lot of patches now, right? So it can be a lot, but if my clients are financially stable, the first person who got the diamond package, his dental doctor.
Mm-hmm. That's what you want to get. And that's why I sent you Dr. Stillman. Please, I don't intend to interrupt you, but look at that Dr. Stillman video.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, please.
Mm-hmm. So we have IceWave on the bottom of the foot, and then so many patches we put it because according to your recommendation right now, right? A lot. Is it okay to put a lot of the patches?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I wear about 20 patches every day.
Pardon?
I wear about 20 patches every day.
20 patches? Cool.
Yeah. Absolutely. Nobody tells you that because it's a money issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you the truth because you're smart. You're smart. And I've always known that.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that attracted me to you. Not only are you an attractive woman, but you're smart. And I'm attracted to beauty and intellect. But I am. If she doesn't have, I'll give you an example. A guy told me a long time ago, and it's true. Don't ever marry for beauty or booty because they both get old. And then what you're going to do? Mm. You need a woman that can think, that works with you. Because we know no matter how hard you work at it, and you can maintain it, but you're never going to have your beauty of a 25-year-old. But you can have your beauty and attractiveness as a 55, 65, and 75-year-old. And I've seen some good 75-year-old women. But getting back to your point, you asked me how much I spent on there, and I showed you. And I thought about it because it's almost at the end of the month, time for me to spend it again. And I would rather spend close to $1,000 on myself to stay healthy and stay away from the hospital than to go to a hospital and have to, just for an ambulance ride, they're going to charge me $1,800. Okay? I know, because I went in the ambulance, okay? And that bill, without my insurance kicking in, that little short hour in the hospital and the test they did to make sure I didn't have a concussion and everything went up to $10,000. So if you don't take care of your body and you're having this cascading health issue, you can run a $45,000, $65,000 bill in a week or less. And I'm telling you, I don't have that kind of money. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So your point is you ask the question and then you make the statement. My clients, hey, they have the financial awareness. How many patches you got? Those are excellent questions. That's why I try to approach and answer your questions from both perspectives. No, they don't have to do this every day. They can do it every 3 days. No, they don't have to wear 20 and 30 patches. It's what they want out of their life. It's how important they see their physical, emotional, and mental health because the patches work on all those things. And I learned a lot. It took me a lot to put it all together. But marketing is putting new information in front of people and educating them. For the new year, I was doing a exceedingly well in my workout. Every week, I was maxing out. So I'm constantly reading, exercising, feeding, fasting. So again, I answer that question when you bring up the thing, do they wear many patches, that my client do have the financial ability. If they got it, they can do it this way. They can either decide, I'm only going to wear 2 patches a day, and I'm not going to pay attention to my body, and patch and ask G. Young, what is the next best protocol? This feels better, but what about this? And you got to get from them what they're feeling, what they believe. They know something about themselves they don't want to share with everybody, okay? But they really got to work on themselves. And we're now in a time now where our medicine and the governmental practices aren't at its very best in your interest. So you got to take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. And they have to make the decision what they want to invest in. So yeah, you adjust based on their economic and financial fitness and what they want. Mm-hmm. And so you have to find out, what is it that you want? My answer would be totally different from his. So, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Just because I walk around with a semi-boner that I can really do anything. But I'm more confident now than I was before. Do you really want to go there? Or what is it? It's a Clint Eastwood moment. I know you heard this, Clint Eastwood. I don't know from all the excitement I've been firing this gun, whether I have fired 5 shots or 6. All I know is this is a 44 mag, the most powerful handgun in the world. So what I want to ask you, do you feel lucky, Pump? Well, do you? So I would say to her, you think I'm old and out of shape? Do you feel lucky? Well, really, do you? But I don't know.
So, Philip, all the protocols, there was a night one for the Carnosine on this part. Uh-huh. So all other one, I tell them to put everything in the daytime, and then only nighttime do they put the Carnosine on the third eye point. Would you say that?
That was my recommendation, because they don't want to walk around with the patch on their face.
Okay.
I walk around with the patch on the back, this portion on my neck.
Yeah, I do that too.
And like you have it right there. Mm-hmm. Or I have it on my wrist. I don't mind people saying that, but I mean, we just don't want to walk around like adults with patches all here, like you're doing the culture.
Okay, so I will explain everything in Korean and tell them the best recommendation from newbie.
And here's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up about that night. I was sharing with you when you asked me the question before you got the book. Dr. Smith, I'll give it to Stillman. Dr. Smith, he's only telling people to wear it during the day because he's a scientist and he invented the product to work with light. And then the other doctors and people behind the scene did what Philip Newby did. They did some experimentation on various things and found out that they work. And then that book you bought on the protocol, that's why you see both day and night.
It's 10 o'clock.
And I was doing things before I got that book at night because I was employing what I learned starting in Korea in the 70s from my sensei, my martial art teacher. When I got kicked in the groin and had to fight in a tournament, he hit me on the heel 3 times like that. That correlates to the groin. And I got up and finished the tournament. And I'm like, how don't you ship you? Teach me what you just did. Why you do that? And he like, But I learned that phrase from all my Korean buddies. Teach me, show me what you just did. I still remember it. And he was shocked when I said that to him. I'm like, I never heard you speak Korean before. So he told me and showed me the best way he could. And from that point forward, part of his explanation to me is all these points on the body you can use to heal, to disable and to kill. It's just the amount of pressure you put to it. I want, so I don't have to be real strong to protect myself. I just know what to do. He said, yes. Because he was I think I showed you that picture. I was in Korea and he was in a suit. If I did not send you one. And he was in a suit. He wasn't that big guy. He was probably about 8 to 10 pounds max. He's a grown man, and I was a young man in my 20s. Than me. But he was good because of what he knew and what he was teaching. Yeah. So, again, you don't have to wear the patches all the time. It's what you want to achieve. And anything in life, whether Ji-Young give you the Terra oil, she didn't say you had to use this oil and just this oil alone. She said, this is what you can use, Philip, for your shake. But Philip started buying and studying and did more and invested more money because he wanted more out of that. So it doesn't matter if Michael Jordan goes in the gym, he just practiced with the team, or does he practice with the team? Does he practice by himself 3 hours before he practiced with the team, and does he practice another 3 hours after he leaves the team? That's what I was doing in martial art. I was practicing before class, during class, and after class. It's just what I did music the same way. I gave up my weekends. I gave up dating because I was behind in college. My goal was to graduate. And I did in 4 years. I was behind in music. And that's why that big guy, I'll show you that picture too. In that picture, he's a pastor now, married to a Filipino woman. He said, man, I don't know what you're doing. He said, but you were always like that, even in college. Your exercising, your diet, your discipline. You didn't chase women all over the campus. He said, you were just like that in college. You're focused. You know what you want, and you go after what you want. So, another question, man. We've been on here 2 hours.
2 hours? Oh my God. Okay. I think
But I'm excited. I love being in partnership with you. I'm excited.
This is amazing.
I'm
so excited too to share about this. This is amazing. Like I put it and right away I can feel this so fast.
And I thank you for sharing with me the good sleep you had. 11 hours.
Yeah, so deep. Never wake up even once. It was the deepest sleep I ever had. And I had a lot of stress recently. It was so good sleep.
And I told you that was the first thing you were going to recognize was sleep. Did I tell you that?
Mm.
The first thing. But people have to experiment with it. It's not a drug. Oh, why don't you try it? Yes, and every video I can get to assist you, I will send it to you.
Yeah.
Because there's so much information out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing this for now well over 9 months.
Mm.
The first weekend I went to my nephew's wedding. He married an Italian girl in New York. And that was after the fall. So people thought that I was not. They said, you got on the dance floor and you were just grooving. What the hell are you? You failed. You're supposed to be unstable. How in the world you grooving like that? Hey, it's the stem cell. It's the stem cell. And like they said, I was walking around. They didn't think I'd be able to dance and participate. They said, you showed up. You look useful. And when the wedding was over and everybody started partying, you on the dance floor grooving. Like, God dang.
That's so cool. It's real cool. You are a living example of stem cell activation.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And my buddy who's a doctor, he just can't believe me. He and his wife, they just can't believe it. They just, bro, that's all he keeps saying. Bro. What are you doing? And he's a third-degree black belt. But he said, I don't have the flex. You saw how I did this? He said, I don't have the flexibility and stuff like you. Like, how the hell? And the energy level is off the chart. Yesterday, I got up at 4 o'clock And I didn't go. I told you I didn't go to bed till what? 4 o'clock this morning.
Mm.
And I wasn't. I said, I got to get this out to Aeon. I had to go to condo meeting. Because I'm on the financial board in the condo. We got challenges here. I'm like, but I can do this. I can do that. I'm like, and I got about 5 different streams of incomes I'm working on.
Mm.
So I don't want no drama. I'm just enjoying life. I like to travel. I was like, hey, I'm so glad you fired me. When you told me you got divorced, now I know how you felt. Oh, I'm so glad you fired me. I want to come back. Come back to what? Didn't you watch the movie Gone with the Wind? I made the adjustment now. Clark Gable, Gone with the Wind. His famous line in that movie was, his wife was arguing with him all the time, and he was walking out. And she said, where you going? He said, I'm gone with the wind. She said, but don't you love me anymore? He said, I made the adjustment now. I made the adjustment.
He says that?
Yes. That's a famous line, and that's a famous old movie.
Yeah, I know that movie, but I
was
remember.
born.
Yeah.
Huh?
That movie is very famous.
Yes. And that's a famous line. I made the adjustment now. I said, God dang. And all he left with was his coat and his briefcase. He take no clothes or nothing.
Mm.
Throw it away.
Oh, okay.
All right. What time is it there now?
It's 11:11.
Well, see, this is why I sacrifice. I really enjoy doing this with you. Look, we used to have these kind of conversations with Dutera. And I enjoyed those conversations. You had my attention, okay? And this is my thing. This is my thing, as you very well know. I like being in shape. I like learning something new. I like taking care of myself and offering people things to take care of themselves. This is what I like.
Yeah.
This is what I'm passionate about. And when we were trying to do websites, that never manifested for me. My website was about equipment, workout equipment, if you recall.
Mm.
That's why I named my business Feel Good for Life. And I still own that domain name.
Mm-hmm.
But way back then, and I had no idea this moment was coming, I took my name and played with the name, Feel. But it's not F-E-E-L, it's P-H-I. I'm going to let you go to bed.
Yeah. Is it? I think this is glutathione reaction. Getting tired and sleepy after putting the patches for detoxing.
Oh, yes, especially if you have it on your feet. The moment you put it on your feet, you feel that stimulation taking place.
I see.
And I was reading that book last night on my bed, and I had that music in the background going on.
Do you
put
glutathione patch on the feet?
No, I put IceWave on my feet.
Okay. I never used IceWave yet. I'll do that tonight.
But you can put the Aeon on your feet. What did you put on your feet?
I don't put right now. I didn't put, but I put the Aeon when you told me. But yesterday I put it and took it out. But tonight, so I didn't use, no, did I use? Yeah, so I was taking a rest from the Aeon because I've been using Aeon like maybe 3 days in a row.
Now, if I recall, I didn't see you wearing pants too much. You don't wear pants a lot, do you?
Yeah, I wear skirt.
I thought that's what I remember. You wear skirts.
Yeah.
I said, wow. I leave that to myself. But only reason I brought that up. But you can wear the Aeon on those points on your side of your, below your knee when you work out. And do that protocol on your lower back when you work out. Why? That would give you energy to work out harder and recover faster.
I see.
And that little protocol on the stomach, what that also does is it keeps your abdominal fat down. when you work out and you eat right and you drink water. So the patches are making you tandem with good nutrition and exercise, you will lose weight as well. And your metabolism will burn higher because you lose weight. But the biggest thing is your circulation, elimination of inflammation, and your collagen was the term I was looking for with the skin. The collagen in your skin tightens everything up. Oh, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
Because, see, these lines used to be deeper. Something that happened with aging, but it's smoothing out now.
Cool.
And if you're losing hair, there's a protocol for hair I can show you. And periodically when we get on here, you just come up with some things we want to talk about. And let's just exchange information.
Okay.
Okay, and you just let me know time of day. But I'm going to get out of your hair because you sleepy. You like a little baby. You have to rock you to sleep. I don't rock me to sleep. I'm reading up ass out.
Yeah, this is so cool. I enjoy a lot, like learning about all this LifeWave thing right now these days.
Yeah. But I'll see if I'll send you videos and information and webinars. Please attend some of the webinars.
Yeah.
Is your hair growing? Your hair look nice.
Yeah, right away, the same day, my hair gets shinier and healthier, just the same day.
Well, you've been around me for 3 days to a week. You know I didn't shave that much, right?
I didn't know that.
My facial hair, I got to shave every 3 days now.
Before that, like
Yes.
how often did you have to shave before?
Once every 2 weeks.
Ooh!
I'm shaving every 3 days now, and I got a little shadow coming up and roughness right now.
I see. That's cool. Wow.
But you've been around me a whole week and you didn't see me shave.
Because I don't pay attention if you shave or not.
Well, you should be able to see if some hair is coming up just by passing. Like I noticed your hair.
You
That
can
your
tell?
hair was growing.
You can tell?
Yes.
That's
And
it.
I can see the lustrous look. That's when I saw you when you first came on there. Like, damn, it was have a hard time in Korea. Because you're 40 and beyond now. So you're beyond your 40.
Yeah.
At least 42.
I'm over 40. Now I'm 40, I don't know, 4 or 5 or something.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, remember we were in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, adjacent to the stadium. And the young lady from California, her name doesn't come to me. And we were walking downstairs with our luggage. And you turn around, looked at me and said, Felix, how old are you? When I tell you my age, you said, no. Hey, okay, that's how you look today. Okay? You look younger today. And I know I met you between 33 and 35. And I cannot discern the difference. In fact, it seems like things are going back. I'm like, you're glowing. Your hair is lustrous. Beautiful smile. I'm like, damn, girl. Come on now. Don't hurt the fellows, okay? Give them a break. And the fellows was always after you. So if they were after you at 30, a woman doesn't decline. She gets better if she takes care of herself. She gets better because now all this physical beauty and mental fitness and confidence is exuding out. You you're a beast now with your beauty. You're a beast because it's more than just the physical. It's the confidence and all this stuff that you used to be concerned about. You know how to manage that. You can take a man or leave him. You in charge. Just like I told that woman the other day. You're a master at handling men. And she lied. That's what I could tell by the way you look at it. You're a master at it. I'm not dealing with a rookie. And we just met. But I could tell when I looked in her eyes, she had the confidence with men. And she had been married with 3 kids. And she like, why you say that? I can tell by the way you look. And another young black woman was working with her. And I mean, she's young, like in her 24 or something. And she doesn't have the confidence, but she like hanging out with this woman. She said, oh, he said that. Yeah, you're a master. I can look at it. I wouldn't be surprised whatever you say to me. And we can go to dinner. I didn't tell her no. And I wasn't interested. I just let her talk. Because whatever she saw in me, she was comfortable enough and strong enough to say what she wanted. Okay, I'm glad you find me that way.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
I see.
And I'm more interested when women outside the country than I am in the country. Because I know that they don't have the drive. I think the last girlfriend I had almost 20 years ago was probably the closest African-American woman that I remember, other than the one I almost married when I was a lieutenant. She was the very best. But other than that, it's difficult for me to resonate. And all my friends know that. All my family members.
Because you have a high standard?
I do. I have very high standards. And I'm happy. And that's the thing that keeps me from being a chaser, in which that woman on that day that I said, she not a master man. So she said, you never been married? No. So she a playboy. I have no interest in being a playboy. I don't have the strength, time, or interest in being a playboy.
Uh-huh.
I know I can't handle all those women, okay? Not righteously anyway. And that's why I know my buddy was a playboy. And he tells me now, he calls me little brother. He said, little brother, you was right. The ladies like you when you was a lieutenant, I used to tell you, and you like, nah, they're not the right one yet. He said, but some way you always knew. I said, it wasn't that I was so smart. My mother told me you can't chase all the women and maintain your youth too. And what you do in your young age will show up in your older years. And she was right.
Your mom is so wise.
She did tell me that. I'm not making that up. She was so right.
Yeah.
She said, don't be trying to chase every woman. Stay out late hours and do alcohol and drugs. Whatever you do in your young years will show up in your old. And when she left me, I was 55 years old. And she said, you're my son. And you don't look a day over 35. You apparently listen to me. She sure did. And all my buddies and relatives who chased multiple women, they broke down like a 55 Chevrolet in the junkyard. They broke down. So you can't, it's fun, I guess. I didn't do it, so I have to use the term I guess. I guess it's fun thinking you are a master with the women sexually, but we can't do to y'all what y'all do to us. We just can't do it. It's too much strain on the body. So, lady, I have enjoyed this session. I look forward to talking to you again. At least you can talk to me once a week on Zoom. Mm-hmm. At least once a week. I would be appreciative. I want to see this total beauty, new manifestation of you. You are glowing. I am so glad I'm at the age I am. We had a reporter. We had the threat con is lower on my end because I know you. I just pray for all the other guys who doesn't know all that pack, all this beauty and brains that's engulfed in that body and head of yours. I just pray for it. Well, as my mentor used to say, much prayer is required.
Thank you so much for your
Take care of yourself. You don't see yourself. You don't see yourself. And how long you been using the patches? A week? Or
5
3
days. Today is day 5.
Wait. Now, here's my next thing for you. Wait till you look at yourself, not physically, but how you feel physically. Oh, you're going to say, when I see you, Philip, I'm just going to shake you. I'm just going to shake you. Watch how you feel.
Yeah, I feel amazing already.
Especially when you get to 30 years. And I feel you feel amazing because they say you start losing those cells at 30 years old. Okay? You start, but you caught it in an early phase. And listen to all the other women who give testimonies, who also write on the Patch and Dr. Stanley's website on Facebook. As you read those things and listen to the testimonies and come on the webinar, I'm telling you, I am so happy and grateful that you decided to go along with this. You're going to be amazing. This is where you want. And you got a little dimple, too. You got a little dimple.
Do I have a dimple? Do I have a dimple?
Yes, you have a slight dimple.
I see. Okay. Anyway,
So,
so this is a blessing feeling to find out about this patch, and thank you so much for your time and sharing and all this. So I will talk to you again. I will tell
will
this
do.
to my
And
clients.
like I said, when you sent me that yesterday, I will get it out to you. You tell me what you need, I'll make it happen.
Okay.
We'll see each other, talk to each other the next time.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right. All right. Have a great sleep.
Okay. Bye.